All right, if you're a student athlete with dreams of playing in college, you've got to know that the NCAA recruiting calendar, well, it's basically the game board. And it is complex. The stakes are super high. And if you want to win, you absolutely need a playbook. So that's what this is. This is your playbook.
So are you feeling a little lost in this maze of rules and dates and deadlines? Look, you are definitely not alone. The pressure is real, I get it. But figuring out how to navigate this whole process, that's your first huge step towards success.
And believe me, the stakes are probably higher than you think. One little misstep, like sending an email at the wrong time or missing a key visit, it's not just a mistake. It's a lost opportunity, a door that might have just closed. So understanding these rules, it's not just about, avoiding trouble, it's about giving yourself a serious competitive edge.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to cut right through all that confusion. We'll start by breaking down the 3 main recruiting periods. Then, we'll give you a playbook for the dead period, the quiet period, and the contact period. And you're going to want to stick around for the end, because we're going to cover the one big mistake you absolutely cannot afford to make.
All right, let's get right to the foundation of all this. See, pretty much everything in the NCAA recruiting world revolves around 3 and only 3 distinct periods. If you can get a handle on these, you'll understand the entire landscape. It's that simple.
Okay, I want you to think of this chart right here as your master key. It's a super simple breakdown of the entire recruiting calendar. You see those check marks and X's? They tell you exactly what kind of contact is allowed during each of the 3 periods. We're going to dive deep into each one, but seriously, keep this image in your head. It's basically the cheat sheet for everything we're about to cover.
Okay, first up, the dead period. Yeah, the name sounds pretty intense, right? And trust me, it's for a very good reason. This is, without a doubt, the most locked down, restrictive phase of the entire recruiting calendar.
So what does that actually mean for you? It's really simple. 0 in-person contact. And when I say 0, I mean none. A coach can't meet you on campus, they can't meet you off campus, they can't see you at a tournament. All face-to-face recruiting is completely frozen.
But, and this is so important, dead does not mean silent. Just because in-person contact is off-limits, it doesn't mean communication stops. The digital lines, they are wide open. This is your time to be making phone calls, sending texts, writing emails, basically doing everything you can to build that relationship.
So, what's your playbook here? It's all about working smarter. This is definitely not a vacation period. You should be using this time to send out your updated highlight film, focus on building real relationships through consistent communication, and, this is a pro move, planning your visits for right after the period ends. Get ahead of the game.
Okay, moving on to the next phase, the quiet period. And just like the name suggests, things are still, kind of restricted. But the big difference is that all the action shifts to one very specific location, the college campus.
So here's the big change. Face-to-face contact is now back on the table. But, and this is a huge but, there's one major condition. It has to happen on the college's campus. That means coaches can't come to your house, they can't watch you compete in an off-campus tournament, none of that.
Just to be crystal clear here, campus visits, both official and unofficial, totally fine. You can go to on-campus camps and clinics. And of course, all your calls, texts, and emails can keep going. The one hard and fast rule is that coaches simply cannot do any in-person recruiting anywhere but their own campus.
So your playbook for the quiet period is simple. Get on campus. This is your prime time to schedule those official and unofficial visits. It is the perfect chance to attend a camp or a clinic and let the coaches see your skills up close and personal, all while you keep those digital conversations humming along.
And now, we get to the one everyone's been waiting for, the contact period. Honestly, the name says it all. The doors are basically thrown wide open, and recruiting activity just goes into overdrive.
So what does full recruiting access actually mean? It means all those restrictions on where a coach can meet you, they're gone. On campus, off campus, at your high school, even in your own home, it is all fair game now.
Yeah, basically everything is on the table. This is when coaches hit the road, they're coming to watch your games, they're doing home visits with your family, and they're having those really crucial face-to-face conversations that often lead to a scholarship offer.
So your playbook has to shift into high gear. You've got to make sure you're competing in high-visibility events where coaches will be. You need to be prepared for those in-person conversations and have your stuff ready to go. Your academics, your film, your references, have it all organized so you can share it the second they ask.
Okay, we've covered the dead period, the quiet period, and the contact period. But what I'm about to tell you now is probably the single most important piece of advice in this entire breakdown. This is the pro tip that separates the athletes who get recruited from, well, everyone else.
Here's the biggest mistake you can possibly make: waiting. A rookie move is to wait for the contact period to finally start reaching out. The pro move? The pro has been building relationships all through the dead and quiet periods, so that when the contact period finally hits, they're not an introduction, they're already a top priority.
Let me break that down for you. The real work, it happens before the contact period even starts. You use the dead and quiet periods to get on a coach's radar, to build a real connection. That way, when the contact period finally rolls around, the conversation isn't, "Hi, nice to meet you," it's, "Let's talk about your future here." See, you've turned it from an introduction into a decision moment.
Look, if you only take away one thing from all of this, let it be this quote right here. Dead does not equal disconnected. Communication is the engine that drives this whole recruiting process, and that engine never stops running, no matter what the calendar says.
So as we wrap this up, the big question really comes back to you. You've got the rules now. You've got the strategies for every single part of the recruiting calendar, so is your playbook ready for every season?